Hello, my beautiful mommies. I wanted to hop on and wish everyone a happy Mother's Day. So I'm doing something a little different. I'm trying to video outside, but it's a little windy and there's noise, but we're gonna do it anyway, right? Totally in mom's spirit. It's not gonna be perfect, but we're still gonna show up, right? So I wanted to do this Mother's Day video out on my patio, actually, in honor of a wonderful conversation I had recently with a fellow mom. Just a beautiful, beautiful person, beautiful soul, and just to hold that space of the spirit of motherhood and making time, carving out time to spend time with other moms and share and just be together in each other's presence. And also wanted to share one of the things we talked about, because I thought it was interesting. I had shared a couple of years before my New Mommy Village story, and then she and I were chatting, having coffee out here. I was sharing the Gratitude Mommy Life Instagram account that I have, and my goal, I think I've spoken about it, my goal is to come up with at least 100 gratitude statements for moms who are interested in creating a gratitude practice or having a gratitude practice. So anyway, we were talking about that. Then we got on the topic of why I have such a passion for moms. Why do I have such a passion for new moms, talking about self-care, building your village, creating a support system. And we're kind of going back and forth. And then I sat back and I shared with her, I think the reason why I have this desire to show up here on YouTube and, create a journal, which I'm not a writer, which is funny. That is one of my weaknesses. But literally just at one point within motherhood, the words were just pouring out of me and I had to write them down. So we got on this topic about, where does this passion come from? Why am I so passionate about helping moms? And, she loved some of the gratitude statements that I had written. I think where this comes from is that my motherhood experience and journey has been a little bit different than other moms. Kind of two events that happened for me. One was, first I became a stepmom, and when I was a stepmom, I had this mentality of I'm going to sacrifice myself at all costs all the time for the kids. And then I had an awakening of, okay, great, I can do that, but I can also take care of myself as well. So the two events were the first 7 years of being a stepmom, and then becoming a new mom of baby with no family in town. I think those two events were ones with an awakening of myself, with awakening of reconnecting with my body. The first 7 years of being a stepmom, I definitely had that mentality of I'm going to sacrifice myself at all costs all the time. Whatever comes up, I'm going to do it. I'm going to volunteer, and really fell into doormat behavior and ran myself into the ground, so to speak. I finally had an awakening of, no ma'am, we are not going to do this. We are not going to sacrifice ourselves at all costs. The kids are important, and we are important too. Then it's funny, you would think that I would have learned this lesson in taking care of myself. Then I seemed to have to relearn lessons when I had a baby, and I was not fully prepared. I fell back into that mentality again of sacrifice myself at all costs all the time. Don't really speak up for what you need, just get it done. You've got this. And ran my body into the ground again and then had to wake up and shake myself and realize, oh my gosh, I am back where I was in the first 7 years of being a stepmom. No, ma'am, we are not going back there again. I am going to do it differently this time. I think that's why I have this perspective, especially for first-time moms, of I've just had a different experience coming into the journey of motherhood. And because of that experience, I've already been through a variation or version of sacrificing. And no, ma'am, we are not doing that anymore. We are not doing that anymore. I finally stood up for myself. I think as women, it's very easy for us because we are so adaptable. That's the wonderful thing about us. That can be a strength, but it can also be a weakness because you can't be adaptable all the time forever. At least for me, I realized that I cannot be adaptable all the time forever. I had fallen into doormat behavior, and it wasn't anybody's fault. It was my responsibility, and I needed to own that. And so that is also why I show up here. Oh, I'm showing up here for moms. I want moms to feel empowered. I want moms to own their life and design their own life. And mom life is what you make it. This is something I realized. And this is not about blaming other people or that other people need to do things to where, you know, your life is just going to magically open up and where you're going to have time to take care of yourself. That is why I show up here. I show up here for my younger self. I show up here for that first-time mom who is needing some encouragement. I show up here for that woman who became a stepmom, who is needing some inspiration. And I needed this as well. I came across moms who I'm so grateful for that reminded me, yes, you know, you can do this at some point, but right now you're a new mom. And so no, you are going to take care of yourself. And you know, I appreciated that. And this isn't about, you know, giving a formula of what motherhood is supposed to look like. At the end of the day, you know your body best, you know your baby best, you know your kids best, you know your situation with your life partner at home. And the beauty is that what is going to look like empowerment or look like self-care for one mom isn't going to be the same for another mom. So this is not about giving unsolicited advice and giving, you know, oh, you should do X, Y, Z. No, that is your job. Your job is to come up with X, Y, Z. The reason why I show up here on this channel is to show up as a reminder, as a soul sister, as a soul fellow mother. And so I want every mom to own their situation, to do the best that you can with where you're at and where you are, and be the best version of yourself. I was talking with another mom, and we were talking about several different things, but we were talking about self-care. She's actually in that business. When I was sharing some of the things that, you know, I share with other moms, she was saying, oh, you know, you do such a great job, and, you know, gosh, I wish when I was a, you know, first-time mom, I could have thought of these things, and I could have, you know, done some things, and I did not do things the best that I could. And I had to stop her right there, because this is not about a competition. This is about support, and this is about fellow mothers reminding each other to take care of yourself. I shared with her, yes, I share things that you can do to help get yourself to a better place, and also just ideas so that you can figure out what works best for you. But I also shared with her, you know, when I say come up with self-care routines, that doesn't mean that I do it perfectly. That just means that when I get out of balance, and that does happen, and there were times where, I'll be honest, because of the situation, there wasn't time for self-care during a certain period of my motherhood. And I had to show up, I had to be there. And honestly, sometimes I felt like a shell of a person. I felt like I'm just going through the motions and I'm doing what needs to be done, and that there's not much left. Sometimes you are going to have to go through those times. So this channel is not to say, hey, you should never go through these times. This channel is to say, yes, you are going to go through those times, and I'm going to be here when you're ready to hear the message, to find ways to get back in balance. Because I needed those mom friends to help give me reminders as well along the way. And there were some times where I was in a position where they gave me advice or they gave me some ideas, and I came up maybe with, my own idea based off of that. But maybe it didn't happen for a month and a half, because sometimes you have to do what needs to be done as a mother. And that's the beauty of us. And so we're just here to serve as that voice, as that fellow sister, as that gentle reminder to take care of yourself. And one mom that I followed throughout my motherhood journey is Mina Irfan. And she is, I think her channel is the Universe Guru. And I remember watching one of her Mother's Day videos, and she was celebrating her mom and talking about her mom's story. She said a quote, and it's something that I needed to hear, because when she said it, I felt it pierce through my heart. And it's the quote, and I'm not sure who said this, but it's the quote of, you don't need to light yourself on fire to keep your family warm. I was definitely at a point in motherhood where I had gotten out of balance, and part of it I did need to get out of balance. The situation required that. But when she said those words, it pierced right through my heart. I felt her speaking directly to me, and she said it in a loving way that you need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself. So I just want to continue this message, and it's so cool to be here on Mother's Day, and just wanting to celebrate all of the moms out there. Our job is so unique. Our job is so valuable. We bring life creation. We bring life creation energy to the world. And we also get things done. It just feels so wonderful to kind of come full circle to hear. I think it was about 4 years ago where I heard her Mother's Day video, a message that I needed to hear at the time. And she also says, for women, when you light one candle, you light 1,000, because it spreads. And so just want to spread this message on Mother's Day. I hope that every mom is getting celebrated, even after Mother's Day, just wanting to have that reminder to take care of yourself, and that you do not need to light yourself on fire to keep your family warm. I love you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.